Hi guys, welcome to a surprise episode of the Pretty Little Book Nerds. Our topic for today is our best or favorite reads of 2025.
Our top 10,
Top 10, yes.
since you limited me to 10, even though I'm gonna have some
Everybody's,
honorable
yeah,
mentions.
everybody's doing top 10s this year. I mean, everybody always does top 10s, to be
Yeah.
honest. I guess we could have done like top 12. I don't know, we could have been unique. Ugh. Do you want
So
to
I'm
go first?
Danielle.
Oh, yeah, doing great already. Uh, do you want to go first? Do you want to start
You didn't
first?
even introduce yourself.
I thought I did.
No.
Oh, there's a cat climbing the chair now. I'm Genevieve, and we have
Okay.
similar but different reading tastes at the same time.
Yeah, I think some of mine, you've already read before. So, how do we want to do this?
I just thought we would go back and forth. If you want
Okay.
to go first.
So, one of mine that I absolutely loved was Enchantra
Okay.
by Kaylee Smith, right?
Hmm.
Um, I love this book so much, and I was so excited too when it came out. I gave it 5 stars, and I also loved the first one. I think the first one I gave 5 stars to as well. Um, okay, now your turn.
Um, I'm gonna do my two nonfiction picks first, I think. Oh, excuse me. Starting
Oh,
with
I should have done that.
oh, I don't know.
Okay, go
Uh,
on.
Starting with Overkill by Paul Offit. Danielle has heard me talk about this book a couple of times before, I'm sure, because I talk about this book nonstop. It was my first like real read of the year, if I remember correctly. I read it back in January, and I rated it 5 stars like immediately. It's nonfiction and it's medical nonfiction, which is kind of my go-to nonfiction these days. It's either medical nonfiction or like true crime. And so it's a book about like all of the misconceptions in the healthcare industry. Um and even just with like at-home health, like not even misconceptions like in a doctor's office or in a hospital, but also just like old wives' tales that you've heard for years that like you've always been told are true that are going to help you, and they actually don't do. They either don't do anything or they don't do as much. And it goes through. It has like actual like um like study information explaining why these things don't work and what would work instead and like what we should be doing for these health issues and things like that. Um, and they're different medical studies from like all over the world. And so it was a really, really cool read. I have another book of his that's about vaccines that I really want to read soon.
That sounds
Because
interesting.
yeah, he's an incredible writer because he doesn't just write the facts, he writes it in a very interesting way too, where it kind of keeps you where you want to like learn more about the stuff that you probably didn't care about before. So it's like it's really interesting. It was really cool. Yeah, I rated that 5 stars.
Are you gonna say your other nonfiction one or no?
Oh, I just thought we were gonna bounce back and forth.
Okay. Oh my God. I was just like waiting. Um, I'll say my only nonfiction, that I did I only read one nonfiction this year? No, no. Well, um, I'm gonna say The Teenage Brain. It's The Teenage Brain, a neuroscientist's survival guide to raising adolescents and young adults by Frances E. Jensen, and Amy Ellis Nutt. Um, it was really good. Like it goes through each chapter is a different subject, whether it's like alcohol, drugs, Mm, can't think of any other ones. Oh my God.
Those are the big ones. Yeah.
Like, yeah, early childhood, something like that. So, like, it has different stories of real people, and then it goes through like what teenagers are actually going through, and like why you'd think that they'd be better at handling situations because you've told them and all of that. But they're still like growing and developing as teenagers, even though we kind of start as a society treating them as adults. Um, but it was really good. I would listen to it on Audible a little bit, and whenever Sebastian and I went to tour one of the colleges, I was listening to it, and he even got into it.
Wow.
So I gave it 4 stars just because it does go into a lot of like the science behind brains and synapses and all that, and I was like, I could so like even though it's interesting, I was like, I could use a little less of it. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, my next pick is The House of My Mother by Ruby Franke. Um, I believe I gave this 5 stars. It was either 4 or 5. But a lot of people hated on this book. And the biggest complaint that I saw about this book was people saying that it wasn't written like a writer would write it, which to me felt like a really stupid complaint to have because the person writing this was is not a writer. Like this is a memoir about somebody who went through some really tough shit. Like she was abused by her mom, had this stranger come and move into her house and take over her bedroom and was like being super weird and romantic with her mom and like made her dad think that her dad had a porn addiction and like all this weird shit. And so like she's gonna explain it the way that she remembers it and recalls it and is going through it. And I think if you need to go into it with a very open mind because you're going to hear a lot of shit and you're going to think like, oh, that didn't happen. Like she's being dramatic or blah, blah, blah. But like we've heard about Sherry Frankie. Like if you're a true crime person or even not a true crime person, because it was all over the news for a while, like we've heard about Ruby Frankie and or Sherry Frankie and what um oh my gosh, did I put the wrong name? I might have because I think I put the wrong name because I think Ruby Frankie is the mom
Yeah.
and
So it's
Sherry
by
Frankie is the
Sherry
mom.
Frankie. I think I was gonna be like, I've never heard of this, but no, I think I did actually.
Yeah, she's like the crazy mom who there was like because it was in 2024, I believe.
23. It says 2023. Yeah.
2020. Her son ended up, yeah, sorry, it's by Sherry Frankie. My bad. I wrote Ruby Frankie. That's a slip of the tongue there. I gave it 4 stars. Um, but her son like broke out of the home. Ruby Frankie's son broke out of the home.
Oh, and knocked on
And
a neighbor's door, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I saw
And like
a
him and his
documentary
siblings,
about this too.
yeah, him and his siblings were like chained up inside the house.
Yeah.
And it was really bad. It was really, really bad. So to hear a firsthand account from Sherry Frankie is huge. And the fact that she the fact that she was brave enough to do that is insane. And so people discounting it because maybe it's not written as like eloquently as some other writer would tell the story, like I think it's doing you a huge disservice. Because I think honestly, anybody that's interested in like true crime or just like, I don't know, stuff like this in general, I think anybody really could read this and like get into it. And I think I read it um
It
on
still
a
has 4.31 stars on
oh,
Goodreads.
does it? Okay, because
So
when I read it, it was at like 3.2 stars or something.
I guess a
And
lot of people stepped up and are like, okay, we need to read this better because
yeah, probably. And
all of these other people are being shitty.
I think I read it actually on a car ride either to Chicago or to visit my friends in Nevada. And so like that's like 5 hours, a little over 5 hours maybe, and read most of the book, if not all of it. So like you can kind of sit and do it in one sitting. Do I recommend it? No, because it's emotionally a lot. But but
I
it was a
just realized it's dark in here.
yeah,
My
I know
face
my
looks like it's glowing.
what's your next one?
Okay. On to happier books.
Yeah.
There we go. Turn a little light. Okay. Um, I'm gonna say Heated Rivalry. So I feel like I a certain kind of way because when people bring it up, I'm like, I read that book so long ago, even though it was like May, but still, I read it before anybody even heard about the show coming out. And then I also read Game Changers, so that's the first book. Um, but yeah, I think I gave them both 5 stars because they were really good, and I love them, and I love the show.
I would say, do you want to say what it's about? But I feel like anybody in like the reader universe or just in the world in general has probably heard about it by now.
Yeah, I don't think we really need to get into like too many of like what all the books are about.
I don't know. I for mine, I kind of want to give a little bit just because I don't know. I like talking about I like talking about books.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna say my next one. I'm gonna put Januaries by Olivia Blake. It was my first book of hers that I'd read. And it's a bunch of like fantasy short stories. Um, I believe based off the seasons. So they're like they're in 4 sections, and I believe each section is based off the seasons. And
Who's the author again?
Olivia Blake, she's written so many books. Like she had a recent release come out called Girl Dinner, which I have, and I have not read it yet. Um,
Oh, I've seen that book.
yeah, but I listened to it and physically read it. And that was also one of my first reads of the year, and great way to get into the year, just starting it off with a bang. But it's also made it really hard for me to read other fantasy books, I feel like, because her writing of fantasy is just so beautiful. It's hard to measure up. She's an incredible writer. Like she really is. Uh,
These are like thrillers too.
oh yeah, she writes like every genre. It's insane. But yeah, I think I gave that 4 or 5 stars. I'm not entirely sure, but I know I gave it a very high rating. So,
I'm gonna write her name down to like read something of hers.
yeah. Like January's is really good, and reading it in January is a vibe. Um,
Really?
yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. Um, and I have the audiobook now, so I can listen to it whenever I want. It's great. Um, and yeah. What's your next one?
Um, I'm going to go with Heartstopper. Have you heard of those books?
Yes.
The graphic novels for kids, and it's about um the main character knowing he's gay. I can't remember if he's already out to his family or not. Um, but yeah, they're graphic novels and they made a TV show on Netflix that's like 4 seasons, um, which I forgot I never finished. But so I read volume 1 and 2, and they're just really good. And it's nice that somebody came out with books like this for kids, um, because I mean, that's never been done before. And
Hmm.
really, yeah, that's all I have to say. Oh
I
my
do
God.
want to say, there's a lot of drama with that show right now, right?
No, I didn't.
So I'm going to fill you in because we're not just a book podcast here, folks. We're a drama podcast here. Um, so Kit Connor, and this actually ropes into an episode of my music podcast, Listen to the Music, episode 2, Wishbone by Conan Gray. Go listen to it right now. Um, Kit Connor is supposedly the Londoner who broke Conan Gray's heart in 2024 by texting him while he was on a plane to London to see him to break up with him over text message while on that plane. It's not
Oh,
official, but
okay.
yeah. And apparently he also secretly is kind of a drug addict, so that's also cool, but you know,
I mean, it's Hollywood, so.
I guess.
But um,
But yeah,
well, it's only 3 seasons. I thought it was 4.
love the drama. Love that tie in there.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be something more
No, it's just
that like
me and
most people would know.
it's me and my weird music drama bullshit.
Um,
Um, my next one, I'm gonna go with a book that we talked about on this podcast that ended up in my top 10. This Girl's a Killer by Emma C. Wells. Now, we've talked about it on here, so I'm not gonna really go into like what it's about and all that. Just know it's a female serial killer, and that's great because you don't get a lot of those, really, or they're not talked about. But I really enjoyed this book because it was not just like a serial killer thriller horror kind of book. It also had like dark humor and it was just a lot of fun. Um, but if you want like my full recap of that book and like our full conversation of that book, go listen to the podcast episode where we talked about the book in full. But yeah, that's on my list. So
yeah, I recommend reading that. That's not one of my top ones, just because I read so many that I liked. But um, oh my God. Mm, like I'm literally coming up with them as I go.
I thought you wrote them down.
I'm gonna go with Fourth Wing
Oh,
by
okay.
Rebecca Yarros because I did really love that book. It like took over my whole life as it did to a lot of people. And the second book was really good too. And then I got mad at the series because the third book fell very short and was ridiculously boring. Like, I don't know how somebody does that, but
I've heard a
they
lot of people say that.
did. Yeah. And Brittany and I were listening to it together and we were like, oh my God, like, where are they even at? Because there's like so many places that they have to go to for some reason. Um, it was crazy, and we're not the only ones. This is like a lot of people were mad at it, and
Mhm.
it divided the country. um, yeah, but I think I gave it, let me see, 4 or 5 stars. I don't know. 5 stars. Oh, yeah. I even bought like the little dragon bookmarks that are
hmm
magnet and yeah. Okay, your turn.
Um, the next one I'm going to talk about is Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. Um, this was my first introduction. Wow, that's a double that I did not need to do there. This was my first read of Hannah Bonham Young, and it was insanely well done. It discusses limb differences very well. The female main character has
Limb differences?
yeah, I'm gonna explain. Um,
Oh.
the female main character has a smaller one hand is smaller than the other.
Oh, okay.
And then the male main character is missing part of one of his legs.
Oh, okay.
And so it discusses like how they help each other out and like all this stuff. It also does the accidental pregnancy trope, which normally I have issues with, but I feel like this one was done insanely well. Um, because like, yeah, it's kind of a one night stand, but like they're kind of the same person almost. So like when you meet them before they even hook up, you can tell like, oh, they're jiving. Like you can tell they're getting along and that they like each other. Um honestly, to me, reading it, it really felt like it was almost kind of getting the two of them at this party together was almost kind of like a trap set by the husband of the female main character's best friend. Because he was like, I knew he said something in the book along the lines of like, I knew when you two met that you guys were gonna like fall in love with each other. And so like I think it was a trap. I think he set it up. I can't prove it, but yeah, there's a second book in the series, which I've tried to read and I don't know. I can't get into it as much as the first one, sadly, but that seems to be kind of a common thread between other people that have read these books. So,
Right.
but maybe one day I'll get to it. But this one was insanely good. Your turn.
Sorry. I didn't want to be like, okay, and then you're not done. Um, I, yeah. Bride by Ali Hazelwood. This book I devoured. Like, oh my God, I couldn't put it down. And then whenever Mate came out, I bought it instantly. Or maybe not instantly because I couldn't figure out what cover I wanted.
That's right. You texted me about that.
Yeah, because I like, of course, I'm drawn to purple since that's my favorite color. But then when I saw the green one in person, I was like, this one is much cooler. Um, but yeah, so like, and I already, this is one of those books. Oh yeah, I did give it 5 stars. Like after I read it couple weeks later, I was like, oh, I want to read that again. And it
Wow.
made me want to read, this is the first book I've ever read of Ali Hazelwood. It made me want to read everything she's ever written too. Just because I loved like a number of the characters and it was like funny but serious. Like there were funny parts. Yeah. Oh, should I say what it is?
If you want. I mean, I don't, it's totally up to you. Um, yeah.
Um, she is being sent to marry, so she's a vampire. She's being sent to marry a werewolf. Um, I don't want to give it away, but
I mean, that's a good
she's
introduction.
kind of confused, or like everybody's confused as to why, but there's like this, um, like the werewolves and the vampires and humans are all like fighting, so they have this like truce kind of with the vampire council that's why there's like an interspecies marriage or something. Um, yeah, I'll just say that.
Okay. I mean, that's a great way to get people interested in the book, I feel like. I mean, um, I don't know what I want to talk about next. I think I'm gonna go with Girl Abroad by Elle Kennedy. I had been talking for literally forever about how I wanted to read this book. And once I did, I literally could not put it down. I was reading it on my Barnes and Noble e-reader and there were literally nights where while I was reading this book where it would be like midnight, 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, and I did not care. And Josh, my lovely husband, would like every once in a while just like turn around and be like, "Are you gonna put that away soon and go to bed?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I will." And then it would be like an hour later and he'd say the same thing. And I was obsessed. So basically, it's this girl that decides to do I can't remember if it's just a semester or if it's a full year. I think it's a full year abroad while she's in college and she heads over to the UK and she thinks that she's moving into a flat with a bunch of women. And it turns out that they're all men. And one of them in the flat, like there's like a bit of a will they won't they there. She falls in love with this other guy that was like dating one of her friends that she met while she was there, but then like he broke up with her, and that's a whole thing. But she's also writing this thesis um about like this really famous family. Um it's supposed to be like her final project before she heads home, and so like you're hearing about that as well, and she like gets to meet the family and like talk to them and interview them and find out all the secret information. And so like it's a really there's a lot going on, but it's done really well and it was really really good. I believe I gave it 5 stars because it was just, I mean, I couldn't put it down. It was so good. So yeah, that'd be my recommendation.
I feel like I need to read it because you have been talking about it so much.
It was
Like
so
even
good.
just to me.
Yeah, it was so good.
Um, okay. I'm gonna say The Gingerbread Bakery by
Yay!
Lori Gilmore. And then the only one, wait, was there, did one come out? When did the Strawberry Patch Pancake House come out? Was that earlier this year? Okay. So this one I gave 5 stars. I think the Strawberry Patch one I gave 4. That one was not my favorite.
Oh, that
But
was my favorite for sure.
um yeah, that's funny how that works out. Um I don't know, I just love all of them. And I actually did reread the Pumpkin Spice Cafe this year too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know
Um
that.
I love that as well, obviously, since I
Did you
read
give
it
it
then.
did you give it the same rating that you did the first time?
I don't think I changed the rating.
Like I guess you wouldn't necessarily change it, but like did it have the same rating you think for you?
Um, I think so, yeah. It just was like I already knew what was going to happen. And then it made me want to read The Christmas Tree Farm again, which I didn't even get to, but because I love that one too. Or wait, and I love the second one.
The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore.
Yeah. Okay, anyways, that one.
Um, and that's a great series. We've talked about that series. Well, we talked about Strawberry Patch in an episode, so go check that episode out. Um,
Yeah, we
but
need to do an episode of just like all the books.
the only problem is
Fun.
we already know that there's like probably 2 more coming out next year. And
Oh,
so it's like difficult to like, say like, oh
well,
yeah, let's record and talk about the whole series when we know there's more
we
coming.
can still talk about just the 5 books.
Yeah, start with the first 5 and then when she does another 5, we'll do those.
Yeah.
Um, what am I gonna go with next? I'm gonna go with Never Been Shipped by Alicia Thompson. Um, this one was a push to read. Um, I don't know if I would have at the time that I read it, I don't know if I would have picked it up on my own time, but I had like a reason to read it. And so I read it and immediately felt the urge to like annotate, which I don't do. And so I was like highlighting a bunch of stuff, and like my copy has a bunch of tabbies in it, like just everywhere,
Mhm.
all of my favorite little bits and pieces. And that's like the first time I've ever done that with a book.
I know she's really good for that. That's how I feel.
Yeah. And it's this band that broke up, they get back together to go and play on a cruise for this TV show that their song was in and that they were in for like a prom episode. And the 2 main characters, they haven't like talked in like 10 years or something. So it gives them time to talk and then they fall in love and it's gorgeous. And it's just an incredible book. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just and I think it wasn't necessarily my introduction to Alicia Thompson because I'd read Love in the Time of Serial Killers, even though that had been a long, long time ago that I read that. Um,
I love that book.
yeah, but this, I don't know, this like reading her book as an actual like heavy reader now, it hit different. It really did. And I highly recommend Never Been Shipped.
Yeah, I read Cold World, so I need to read this one. And then I think I'll go, just because I love her too so much, I'll read that baseball one, like Catching
Oh
Feelings
yeah,
or
Catching
something.
Feelings.
Because
Yeah.
that's the only reason why I never picked it up was because I was like, oh, baseball, but
That's how
whatever.
I feel
I'm
about
sure
all.
it's not baseball heavy.
Ugh. Um, yeah, your turn.
So my next one, Listen for the Lie.
Ooh.
Yeah. This I did give it 4 stars. I think I gave it 4 stars just because I was like, oh, I'll probably never read this again. Just because I know what happens and I don't know. I'm not really into thrillers anyways, but this was so good. And like even like I'm more of a physical book person. And this one, when I started listening to it, I was like, oh no, that's how you need to read this is through Audible or something because whenever the guy's talking, because he has the podcast, it's like set up like a podcast. Like it has the little music
Oh,
um
that's
in
fun.
between and yeah, and then like the grandma gets on there eventually and talks and it was it was really good.
Yeah, see, I had the physical copy because I got it from Book of the Month. I read that back in 2024. Now, that definitely would have made my list in 2024. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
Like, that's such a good book.
Yeah. I feel like nobody's talking about it anymore.
Yeah, I don't feel
Like I
like
haven't
people
seen
did
it on
talk about it.
anybody's list or like if you go into a bookstore and it's never like on the tables or
Hmm.
yeah.
Like a hidden gem.
Yeah, it definitely is.
There's another book. If you liked that one, there's another book that I will give you to read. It's like The Return of, oh my gosh, I can't remember. It's by Amiko Jean, and I read it around the same time I read Listen for the Lie for the first time. Um, and man, it like that's another one where it The Return of Ellie Black, that's what it's called. That one was also really, really good and kind of in the thriller vein or genre style that I like. It was really, really good. But yeah.
I kept getting it confused with so there's Listen for the Lie and there's First a Lie Wins. We need to
Oh
read
yeah.
that. Because
Yeah.
have you read that?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I haven't either, but that's like been on my list for a while.
Is that Ashley Elston?
I don't know.
Sorry, I'm just like throwing author names
Yes, it
here.
is.
I always want to call her Ashley Easton. It's a problem. Um, okay, my next book. I'm going to to talk about She and Her Cat by Makoto Shinkai and Naruki Nagakawa. I know I'm pronouncing those names wrong and I'm very sorry. This was a complete and utter accident. I went to the library to vote. Um, and I was like, I didn't have anywhere to be. And so I just was like walking around the library after and saw this book. And I was like, you know what? This looks cool. And picked it up and didn't ever think that I'd actually like enjoy it. But it's all of these, it's kind of like January's in the sense that it's like small stories. So it's, but there's the overarching story of like all of these people being connected by these cats. And so it's like how people find their pets or the like adventures that these cats go on when their owners aren't home and like
Oh,
all
like the
the
Secret Life of Pets, kind of?
kind of yeah. That's a weird way to put it. But but yeah, and I enjoyed that book so much. Um yeah, I really enjoyed that book and I would easily read it again. It was short. It was a quick read. But so enjoyable. And I believe it's based like off of like a short film or something by one of the authors of the book.
Hmm.
Um, so I kind of want to check that out too.
Yeah,
Uh, you're
that
not,
sounds interesting. I think I saw that you were reading that sometime, and I wanted to ask you about it, and then I forgot.
it's really good. It or was really good.
Um, it's so hard because all my rest are like, when did I read this? And two, I kept paying attention to like how I was rating things, and I was like, well, you'd think it would be just all 5-star reads, but no, because like I gave The Nightingale 5 stars, but I'm like, I'm not gonna read that again because it's like too intense and long, you know?
Yeah,
Oh my God. I'm gonna say Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal.
nice.
Just because I really love the characters and like it was a long book, but like I couldn't put it down. It didn't feel long.
Yeah. We also talked about that one in an episode uh
Yeah.
recently. So go check that out if Megan Quinn and some horny Christmas people suit your fancy.
Miss people.
Um I'm gonna go with Kitty St. Clair's Last Dance by Kate Robb. Um, if Kate Robb puts out a book, I'm reading the book. Uh,
Yeah.
that's just the truth of it. And um, so yeah, any if she puts it out, I'm gonna read it. And I ended up getting an advanced reader copy through NetGalley.
I did too.
Um, and that was another one where like I think I was within the first 10 chapters, but then when I was reading it, we went on a road trip and we had to drive like 9 hours and 9 hours straight. And so I finished the book during that 9 hour drive. Um, and I and Josh was making fun of me the whole time as he's, driving and I'm over there crying at an e-reader. But it's a girl working at a nursing home. One of her patients passes away and leaves her this abandoned building that used to be a dance hall. And she also ends up finding the um, the diary of the woman who passed away. And when she reads it and goes to sleep, she then wakes up as the best friend of that person and uh, gets to see like what the abandoned building used to be like and who Kitty St. Clair was in a younger life. And I think it's just a very beautiful story. Um, and yeah, I gave it 5 stars. So
I think I gave it 3 just because like the main character I wasn't a big fan of. Um, and I also like I really like primetime romance and This Spells Love more.
you have to read her other one. Doesn't she have another one?
She has these two and then the Kitty St. Clair.
Oh, there's one coming out next year.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. My turn. So this is our gonna be our 10th one, right?
Yeah.
Stressed out.
Should we do honorable, like two honorable mentions after?
I think we should. So I'm gonna say wait, this is our last one. I'm gonna say Good Spirits
Okay.
because I really did love that book. Um, and I also put like First Time Caller because I love that one too, but I think I liked Good Spirits more. Um, just because I like the camaraderie and the dynamic and like the Christmas tie-in. A lot of mine are they all are a lot of mine Christmas themed.
No, but you've got at least three that I can remember.
Yeah. Yeah, and I even like I'm not one to buy like multiple editions of the same book. Um, but this one you got me and it's actually signed,
Hmm.
but I would actually buy the one that has the what is it, like a pocket watch or a compass or something on the side, the sprayed edges.
Oh, I'm not sure. Is that like the British one where it's like the brown cover with all the like picture frames? Because that's the one that I love.
Oh, possibly. I want to look it up, but um yeah. Okay, your turn.
Um, my last pick before honorable mentions is 32 Days in May by Betty Carello. Um, so this book is basically it's about this woman who she moves into her family's like beach house when she loses her job. And the beginning I will like warn because I know a lot of people don't like this. The beginning is very poor pitiful me because she just lost her job and she's really struggling through her recent lupus diagnosis. And that was why I picked this book up in the first place. I purchased it, I believe, very shortly after I was diagnosed with lupus and wanted something that kind of felt like somebody that might understand the situation. And this book heavily, heavily understands the uh what life is like living with lupus. She does an incredible job of explaining just like the exhaustion of chronic illness of, remembering to take your meds and did you take this medicine already? Did you take it earlier like you were supposed to? Did you do this on time? Are you wearing enough sunscreen? Did you put a hat on? Or should you not wear a hat? Should you do this? And it's like all this stuff that it it's kind of like strangles you a little bit when you're in that kind of cycle. Um and but she also does the romance of it very well where um I can't remember what movie they talk about in the book. Because it's supposed to be like, oh, they're just gonna date for this small amount of time before he has to head back. They're just gonna kind of get it out of their system, kind of thing. But she ends up getting to go to like Rome with him because he's a movie star and all this other stuff. And it talks about him struggling with staying sober and it's a definitely a heavy book. It's got some heavy topics in it, but the romance is done not just so beautifully, but also so realistically for their situations. Um, and I think that's honestly, I think that's why I'm mentioning it as kind of my top of the list, even though we didn't number them. Um, uh, because it keeps the beauty in the realness, and I like books that do that. So,
I think I like more, not necessarily like opposite of real, like fluff, but more happy, like a little less serious, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
I need like a real world element, I feel like, to mine.
So that was your number 10, right?
Yeah.
Or
Should
okay.
we do honorable mentions?
Yeah. I'm gonna I'm just gonna like list them off kind of, I guess.
Okay.
Because I loved Book Lovers by Emily Henry.
Hmm.
I think that's like right now my favorite book of hers. And then I read Love and Other Conspiracies by Mallory Marlowe, which are like it's not serious book at all and it's a romance. It's just like a nice feel-good book and I liked all of the like conspiracy elements to it too. My Roommate is a Vampire. I liked that series. You go from like serious real world element like lupus and stuff.
Hey, look, I read books.
Vampire romance.
I read books on that side of the spectrum too. Look, we all have what we like, okay?
I'm gonna say In a Holidays too by Christina Lauren because I
I'm gonna mention it
mentioned this
all the time.
in the other podcast. Yeah, I really loved that one too. The Nightingale was really good.
You just
That
gonna
I
list
think,
all the books you read this year?
huh?
You gonna list all
Well,
the
no, but it's like I listed them all. And then I have so the who wrote Hooked? What's her name? Emily McIntyre. So I wrote these down because I'm like, there's other books that I liked more, but I still gave them a high score. Like Hooked, Scarred, and Twisted were my favorites of hers.
Yeah. I need to read more of that series because I read the first one and I really liked it. I rated it 4 stars. Um,
See, the second one's good too. Actually, they're all good except Hexed. I didn't like the last one.
I'm reading my review for this book, and I forgot the first sentence for my review for Hooked is if this happened in real life, it would be a true crime podcast. Because it's so that is accurate. Like,
Um,
uh,
maybe, but
because I just remember a lot of it, which I know it's insane to say this considering like some of the shit that I read, but it's like reading it and just being like, this is just not realistic, guys. Like, if this happened in the real world, like the woman would run so fast. Like, but then
yeah,
you,
but not necessarily because she didn't have a lot going on
well, that's true.
in her own life. And like she was controlled by her dad, which was Peter. And so that's why she kind of like went, she liked the, what do we say,
Insanity.
suspense of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you have any more honorable mention?
no, just go.
Um, I'm gonna say, even though oh, this is like a short. This is a novella, and I believe it's not even like in print. I think it's only like on like e-readers and stuff. It's called Buttercream and Second Beginnings by C.K. Darling. I got it as a an advanced copy. That's what I'm looking
An
for.
arc, okay.
Yes, I got an arc of it. And I did not know what to expect because I literally had heard nothing about it, but it was a free book, so I took it. And and I read it and I rated it 3 stars, which seems really low, but I remember being like, I'm rating this 3 stars because it's too freaking short. It needs to be longer. I wanted more from the
Oh,
characters and like it was just too short. Like I needed more. And maybe there's like other books in that series too. So probably, could just read those and find out what I want to know. But I'm also going to mention another book that we talked about in this podcast, The Three Lives of Kate Kay by Kate Fagan.
yeah, I had that written down, but I was like, I probably will never read that again. I don't know.
I could see myself reading that again. I loved the writing style. The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston, which I know is one of hers that is like not as high regarded as her others, interestingly enough, but I really liked it and the reveal that I'm not going to give away.
Yeah,
uh,
because I haven't read it.
Yeah. But the reveal was so good. It made me cry. Like that it was just and her books always make me cry. I'm not even gonna lie. Ashley Poston, she knows how to bring the tears out of me. I get to meet her in like less than 2 weeks and I'm hype.
Oh yeah.
I'm taking all and I don't she's with another author that I've never read before. And so I'm going with all of her books and just being like, "Hi, I'm here for you." Um,
I think the other authors, when there's like a another one or a second, they've got to be used to it.
yeah. Um, You know what? I'm gonna say Dear Henry, Love Edith by Becca Kinzer. That was a huge surprise. When you get a Barnes& and Noble e-reader, you get one free ebook a month. And so when I bought my e-reader, this was my first pick from doing that. And and I could not have been happier. It was just so fun, like like um like identity like mix up. Like they both think they're living with like an older adult until they realize that they're both younger adults. And it's I love when books do silly shit like that. It's so fun. So that one was good. Oh, I did talk about this one a lot. Dream on Ramona Riley by Ashley Herring Blake. I love Ashley
Oh,
Herring
you
Blake.
did.
This one was so good. I'm meeting her this year too. And she's gonna sign all my books. I made sure to buy even her holiday book to take with me. Um, and yeah, like that was such a good one. Um, I don't know what to end it with. I'm just gonna like kind of list a couple here. I'm just gonna go really fast. Local Woman Missing, Mary Kubica. Great, like Illinois thriller whodunit. Um, Turtles All the Way Down, which is kind of like a John Green classic.
Oh,
Such a good book. I heavily enjoyed it as a full-fledged adult reading a YA. Had a blast.
I
Um,
think YA books are good. Well, not a lot, but there's a lot out there.
um, and then I think the last one I'm gonna say, hmm, it's difficult. Um, the last one I'm gonna say is Falling with Wings by Diana de la Garza. It's a memoir by Demi Lovato's mom about her upbringing and her time as a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, um, and like having her kids and leaving her abusive husband and dealing with Demi's addiction and like all that. It was a really good read, really good book. So yeah, those are my honorable mentions. Um, we had some good reads this year, Danielle.
Yeah, there were a lot.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this year. I'm gonna try, there's a
Yes.
couple things that I'm gonna try to do is read more of like other authors that I haven't read before, which I think I did try to do that last year, but um and then I also want to finish a lot of the series, or at least like read as much as I'm interested in. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
because there's the Lightlark series, which is also YA by Alex Astor, and I have the second and third book, but I haven't read those yet. So I want to make sure I read those.
Yeah.
Um,
I think my goal for this year is really just to like not get overwhelmed by the amount of books that everybody else reads. Because I think a big thing for me this year, like this past year, was like I would see how much like not to, you know, drag your name through the mud here. Sorry, Danielle, but like how many books you were reading, and like Haley Pham, who's a book YouTuber, and I follow her on Goodreads, and so I was seeing like how much she was reading and some other influencers that I
that's
like.
all she does.
I know, I know, but like. And I went through a lot of reading slumps this year because I felt like I was so far behind. And I think I just need to be okay with just, just
Yeah.
reading and not trying to make it a
Well,
competition.
well, I hope you don't see it as a competition with
I
me,
think I
but
was, no, well, not with you, but I think just in general, I was kind of getting in that mindset with like the Goodreads
oh,
goal.
um,
And
because still like 40 books is a lot.
yeah.
Like, that is still a lot. I remember one year I made a resolution for myself to like read more in that year,
Hmm.
and I made a goal to read 2 books a month. So 24 in a year, and I was like, oh my God, that's a lot. But I did it in, I completed it in like August. And I was so proud of myself, but I wasn't even like trying to read fast or anything.
Yeah.
But mine, like I said before, I don't know if it was on a recording or not, but just that some of the books that I'm going to read this year are kind of shorter ones. Um,
Yeah.
just that I already have in mind. So,
Yeah. I kind of want to like I made my goal for this year 40 instead of 50. And I think I want to make a list of like 20 books that I'm definitely going to read this year. Like that they absolutely have to be read this year and then leave the second half of my goal for just, feeling.
yeah,
So, because I've seen a lot of people do that and it works for them. So, and
yeah.
it'll get me through my TBR.
Well, also too, like we have the books for the podcast. So
Mhm.
that's like a good amount. That's like, I don't know,
About 20,
24
kind
or
of.
something. And then we have, let's see, the And Now Back to You by BK
Yeah,
Borison.
which we're excited for.
Is Lori Gilmore coming out with one this year? We have that one. Oh, two. And then what was the other one in February? The other one in February that I'm excited about or March was The Second Story of My Life book by Lucy Score.
Yeah.
And then
And I do know like in April, not to like give things away already, but I do know in April we'll be talking about Just Friends by Haley Pham because I mean,
oh yeah.
we got to discuss it. It's already controversial, so we got to have a chat.
Um
But
yeah, and then Kate Robb's coming out with another one this fall too. So like your 40s almost.
yeah, it's almost there.
Yeah.
Um, but what did you read this year? Tell us in the comments and maybe we'll read some of them. Maybe we'll take those as some suggestions and or if there's something you want to hear us chat about, let us know. We've got some incredible things coming up in 2026 that I know I'm excited about. I'm sure you're excited about it too, Danielle. But
Yes.
um, yeah, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Bye.
Okay?